Moving to Florida now, where social media has been banned for anyone under the age of 14. The new bill will force online platforms to delete any accounts used by people under that age. For people who are 14 and 15, parental consent will be needed to register a social media account. This will go into effect on January 1st, 2025. With more on this, we've asked our tech expert, Carmi Levy, to join us. Carmi, how will this work?
That's a good question because we've never seen a ban of this scale ever proposed before. And so essentially, if you are under 14 in Florida, you're not going to be allowed to register on any of these platforms. If you've already registered on these platforms, the companies will be ordered to remove those accounts from them. If you're 14 or 15, you will have to obtain, as you said, parental consent. And if the companies do not follow suit, or if they allow kids who are out of scope to register or stay on the platforms, they can be fined up to $50,000 per case. And of course, that can add up fairly quickly. Significant sort of ban, drawing some very hard lines in the sand here. But no, we've really never seen anything of this scale before.
Yeah, without a doubt, Carmi. I know proponents of this bill, they are arguing that this is going to protect kids, protect the children from online harm. But I think the other question over and above how is this going to work is this enforceable, do you think?
I don't think so. I mean, we've never seen a ban actually work. This is just not the way that you go about achieving those kind of ends. Of course, we want to protect kids from predators. We want to protect kids from online bullying and sextortion. I think we all agree, but a ban has never worked in any other jurisdiction. It certainly won't work here. So I think what we need to do is kind of recognize that there are other forms of risk here, and that, for example, look at the algorithms, make them more transparent, make it more difficult on those platforms for adults to contact individuals who are younger, ensure that there are resources available to parents to help their kids navigate these landscapes, because you can ban all you want. At some point, they're going to get on. Kids are smart. And at that point, what are we going to do if all we've done is focus on keeping them off of the platforms? We haven't prepared them or digitally street-proofed them in advance. And that, to me, is more problematic than anything else.
And we haven't even discussed all the kids that are on there where the parents have set up the accounts and they're not being truthful about their age. Critics say this is age gating. To your point, we're looking at the age and banning the age, but not necessarily looking at the content that is still being provided.
That's exactly it. You can ban kids from a certain age from a platform, but if you haven't really understood what's happening on that platform and recognize the risks that are presented to them once they're on it, you're more scoring political points than really ensuring they're safe once they're online. And so, these companies need to be held account for what happens when they're on it. We also need to recognize that risk exists for anyone of any age, and that is not being addressed here at this point as well. And so. I applaud the effort, but it certainly doesn't go far enough. And anytime we see an initiative like this, the risk is that we think that that's enough and we let our guard down on all of the other risks that are faced on these platforms, which ultimately can put our kids in even greater danger than would otherwise be the case. It's almost like a false sense of security.
All right. Switching gears, Carmi, wanted to also ask you about this story this morning. Here's an eye-popping number. There's a new report that says residents of Richmond, BC, lost more than $16 million last year in online romance and investment scams. So maybe just another reminder, if you could, about what we need to know to protect ourselves.
I mean, we never trust strangers online. We teach our kids this, but we don't seem to follow that advice. We trust that someone that we met on social media or on a dating app is on the up and up. And so we should assume that they're not legit until they've proven to us otherwise. We need to creep them on other platforms. Look someone up on Google. Check their LinkedIn profile. See if they have a website. If you can't find them elsewhere, that should be a red flag too. And look for those tells. If you run into someone online who, woos you and tries to create a relationship and then shifts into an investment that can't miss and starts mentioning cryptocurrency, that should be setting off alarm bells in your mind. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And these are well-known vectors, well-known forms of attack that should be familiar to us by now. We owe it to ourselves to not think the best of people online. I know it's not very Canadian, but in order to protect ourselves and not become a victim, we need to change our going-in attitude when we cross someone's path online. We need to be cynical.
For sure, for sure. Carmi, always good advice. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, guys.